Okay, so this recipe hits different, okay? I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make this delicious honey sriracha tofu. It's one of my absolute favorite meals recently. So what you're gonna do is start off by pressing the tofu, just wrap it in some paper towel, and then put a heavy pan on top for about 30 minutes. And then you're just gonna start making your sauce. It's just soy sauce, sriracha, honey, a little bit of sambal, and some rice vinegar, super quick and easy. And then you wanna just coat your tofu in a little bit of cornstarch, make sure to spread it evenly, and then pan fry it, and then add your sauce. Simmer your sauce until it thickens up, and then serve your tofu over a bed of rice and add some little green onions on top, and that's basically it, you guys.
Guess what? These tacos are 100% vegan. Start with a package of extra firm tofu, mash it up with a potato masher, and spread it out on a baking sheet. Broil for a few minutes, shaking it up and stirring until it gets crispy and golden. Next, we're adding tomato sauce and taco seasoning. Simmer for a few minutes and add the tofu. Mix it up and simmer for a few more minutes. Don't forget to toast your tortillas. Spoon it into your tortillas, add your toppings, and enjoy.
Okay, so if you're someone who doesn't really like tofu or you think it's too bland, you have to try these teriyaki tofu bites. They are literally so quick and easy to make, and they're absolutely packed with flavor. My secret trick to making the perfect tofu is coating it in a simple flour batter before air frying or pan frying it. I just mix together all-purpose flour, salt and pepper, a little bit of cornstarch, and some water, coat the tofu evenly, and then throw it into the air fryer. Because you've coated your tofu in the batter, the sauce is going to stick to it a lot easier. And for the sauce, it's just soy sauce, brown sugar, cornstarch, ginger and garlic powder, and some sesame oil. Heat up the sesame oil first, pour your sauce in, add some extra water, and then let it thicken up. And once that's done, all you have to do is just drop in your tofu bites, and that's basically it, you guys. All you have to do is serve this over a bed of rice, add some scallions on top, and you're good to go. Okay, if you guys like buffalo wings, you have to try these buffalo tofu bites, okay? Like, I'm literally photosynthesizing right now, like, looking at these. Nobody can tell me these don't look good and that they don't taste good, okay? And they're literally so quick and easy to prepare. So basically, you're gonna start off by making a batter to coat your tofu in, and it's just flour, cornstarch, and some seasonings. I just went with some garlic powder, red chili powder, and pepper, but you can use whatever you like. Coat your tofu in that batter and then pop it into the air fryer at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. Coat it in the buffalo sauce after that, and then pop it back in the air fryer now for like 10 minutes, and then add one last coat of the buffalo sauce, and that's basically it.
Let's make a barbecue tofu burger. You'll need some tofu, of course, and a pastry cutter, which is optional, but it gives you that burger shape. Next, we're gonna season with some oil, sea salt, black pepper, and barbecue sauce. Cook it on medium heat until a crust starts to form, and now we can make our vegan ranch. You'll need some vegan mayo, apple cider vinegar, onion powder, and some dill. Mix it all up, and you got yourself a vegan ranch. Next, we're gonna plate this thing up. Look at this barbecue tofu patty. Generously apply that vegan ranch, and it is time for a taste test. This thing was absolutely delicious. I definitely recommend it. My only regret is that I didn't make two.
Do you know how to make crispy tofu? Well, I do, so let me show you. First, drain your tofu, cut in sections, and dry. Then lightly season with salt, pepper, and then fry in avocado oil in medium-high heat. Let it cook about 3 to 4 minutes on each side until it turns golden brown. And then you place on a paper towel to soak up excess oil. Here's a simple sauce of sesame oil, vinegar, soy sauce, and cilantro. Serve over rice. Try it, you might like it.
Crispy baked tofu. In a large container or a reusable Ziploc bag, add in some olive oil, tamari or soy sauce, sriracha, black pepper, and garlic powder. Give that a good mix and then add in some pressed and cubed tofu. You can see how I pressed this in my previous video. Give that a good mix, and then we're going to add in some cornstarch and mix that one more time, and then transfer that to a lined baking sheet. Pop it into the oven at 425 Fahrenheit for 35 to 45 minutes, and you've got yourself some crispy baked tofu.
Okay, this is my favorite tofu recipe. You're gonna cube 1 block of tofu, then add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, some garlic powder, and onion powder if you have. I didn't have any. And you're gonna add some salt and gonna mix it up very well and coat the tofu completely on every side. So it's gonna take a bit of time, but trust me, it's worth it. Then you're gonna fry it on medium heat, not too high, if not it's gonna burn. And be careful to fry one side at a time. Just like take your time, it's okay, it's a process. Then when everything is fried like that, it should be a bit crispy. You're gonna deglaze it with some soy sauce, some agave syrup, and yeah, you put it on your hot pan, still on medium high heat. Yeah, it's gonna look like that at the end. You just have to mix it up very well. And that's it. Enjoy!
Howdy, it's Sam again, and today it's fried tofu time. Start by double freezing a block of tofu and let it thaw. That's the secret to perfect texture. Then for the marinade, I have veggie broth, soy sauce, garlic powder, nooch, some onions, smoked paprika. I cut it into sandwich-sized squares, and I had a couple extra tenders, and I let them soak for about 2 hours. Then for the batter, we have oat milk, flaxseed, flour, vinegar, and salt. Let that get all jelly-like on the side, and then I poured up some hot flour, so spicy hot. I kept inhaling it by accident, and it was painful. Then we're going to dip our soaked tofu into flour batter flour until it's all crusted up, and then you fry until golden brown. So delicious. Serve it on a sandwich, Nashville hot chicken, however you desire. It's the best fried tofu that I've ever made, so try it out.
Let's try some tofu. First, drain the liquid from your tofu. Then cut it into 5 even sections and take one out. Then you're going to place it on a napkin and dab it to try and remove some moisture. In a saucepan on the stove, on medium to low heat, add a little bit of coconut oil, a little bit of maple syrup, a little bit of liquid aminos. It's okay if it's burning. And then you're going to add your tofu. Add a little bit of salt, cumin, and chili powder, and let that slowly cook. Then flip it around. I let it cook for about 10 minutes. Then get a bed of greens, add a half a cup of brown rice, and add your tofu. And then I drizzle with my basic homemade vinaigrette. And there you go.
Okay, as a meat eater, I can say that this plant-based meal is going to satisfy you on a meatless Monday. Take your tofu block and squeeze out all the moisture, cut it in half, lay the sides down flat and squeeze out more moisture. Cut the blocks into little cubes and transfer them to a dish. Add soy sauce and gently mix together. Use arrowroot starch or cornstarch to coat the tofu blocks on all sides. In a hot pan, add avocado oil and add in your tofu blocks, making sure that they don't touch each other. Cook for 2 minutes on each side until golden brown. Transfer to a dish with paper towel and salt them while they're hot. If you crave that meaty experience when you have a plant-based dish, this is definitely going to satisfy it. For the sauce, add soy sauce, rice vinegar, and honey. Add garlic, ginger, and chili flakes. To thicken the sauce, I'm adding a water and starch mixture. Add salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Bring to a boil so that it will thicken. Add sesame oil and add back in your tofu blocks. Coat the tofu in the sauce and serve with some rice noodles and broccoli. Enjoy!
Ho ho ho, look at these crispy tofu heavenly bites. Here's how to make it. Cube up some tofu, mix half cup of cornstarch, teaspoon of onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, and sea salt. 2 more containers, crack an egg in one, add a half cup of panko breadcrumbs in the other. Tofu in the cornstarch, shickety shake into the egg wash, then coat it up with the panko. Shickety shake again. Fry until golden brown. Enjoy with the sauce of choice, this is what I use, or sweet chili sauce works great too. Ah, such a nice crunch.
Tofu doesn't have to be bland. Here's how to make it tasty and crispy. Start by grabbing a plate and putting a cloth on top of it. Cut your tofu in half, put it on the cloth, and cover it. Put something heavy on top for 30 minutes so that it pushes out all the water. Then cut each half of the tofu in 16 pieces. Now let's add some flavor. Add some olive oil and some tamari, and cover the tofu gently. Last but not least, add some nutritional yeast and mix it again. Spread the tofu out on a pan and put it in the oven for 30 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit.